Hello and welcome back to Inside Quotes, the show where my brother and I rewatch, review, and relive the staples of our childhood. This is episode 121, and I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me today is my older brother, Jonathan. Jonathan, welcome back to the show in 2025.
Quack, quack, everybody. It's great to be back on the show.
Yeah.
Pause for effect.
Anyways, I have a big announcement. Whoever took the L off the motor pool sign, that wasn't funny. I got that quote wrong, but anyways.
We got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a new year, new season of Inside Quotes, and I'm ready for an adventure.
Boy, is this an adventure. Oh my goodness. Oh, adventure to Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Is that what that's called? The full name? Lost Empire?
Yep.
Yup. This movie came out in 2001. Jonathan, where were you in 2001?
Well, it came out June 3rd, which is the day after my birthday, and we did not go see this at the theaters that year.
Yeah.
But I do remember distinctly when this movie came out, like on DVD and stuff, getting this from Blockbuster. And this was like, you get the new releases. You only got them for like 2 days. Right. And I really remember like getting the movie and like immediately like wanting to rewatch it and like watching it as many times as I could possibly do like within the 2 days before we had to return it.
Okay.
But I didn't see it in theaters, unfortunately.
That's okay. Getting it right when it comes out is fair.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize you were a fan originally. Like, I didn't know if this was a later on, because I don't remember watching this with you as a kid, really. Actually, yeah, I do.
Well, that's the thing. I watched it a bunch when we rented it, and then I don't think I've seen it since.
Really?
But I've always like had a soft spot in my heart for this movie. Like I've always loved it. It's like always captured my imagination.
Or something. I remember watching it when I had a memory, and I feel like I would not have remembered watching that with you.
Yeah.
In 01.
We may have watched it again, but I have not seen it like a ton of times.
I just remember putting the realization that Jim Varney was in it.
Yeah.
And really being like, that's Ernest. That's awesome. But yeah, that's my only memory I have with it. But then again, I was 3.
Yeah. Well, that was a thing. Like,
I was 3 then. Yeah.
Honestly, that's a big thing that I remember about this movie is that when it came out after like the year after he died, and I knew that it was like his last voice role.
Really?
Like last movie he was in. Yeah.
When did you just found out he died as a 8-year-old?
Jeremy, I was an Ernest fan.
I know you were, but like, it seems like something
that was
people would not have told you.
That was a big moment. Like when I found out he passed, like I was like, oh man, no more Ernest movies, no more Slinky Dog. We're just getting to know this Cookie character, and now he's gone too.
I know. So sad.
He recorded most of the lines in this movie. I think he died during the production of this movie.
Yeah.
But anyways, big Jim Varney fans, and I remember hearing him and I was like, okay, that's him. I was really excited to hear him in this movie.
I love his voice.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have him on Waze.
You're going to make a left here. You know what I mean, Vern?
Yeah, I don't know who they'd get to replace him.
I mean, I feel like part of that... yeah.
Not for Ernest, but for any other, like...
I think one memory I do have is I do remember our older brothers watching this, like, with me.
Atlantis?
Yeah, Atlantis. And I remember, I feel like I know them talking about, like, Jim Varney had passed and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So that's kind of maybe my source. I don't know.
That's sad. How did he die again? Cancer?
He had lung cancer. He was like a longtime smoker.
Oh, yeah. How else are you supposed to get that voice?
Mm-hmm.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Okay, so movie history, Jonathan. There is a 2-hour-long behind-the-scenes documentary on the special features of this movie that was on YouTube that I watched today.
Okay.
Most of it was interesting. I think most of it was also just the same thing over and over again, sort of. Just like
Okay.
we wanted to make it different than like the Disney Renaissance, so
Hmm.
we just did everything different.
Yeah.
Um, they wanted to make it a really good adventure movie, which they did. They wanted it to not be a fantasy like musical.
Mhm.
They didn't want to have songs. They wanted to. They had apparently the production crew had shirts made
Mhm.
at the beginning years that said like less songs, more explosions
Okay.
under the logo of the film. And I really want to get one of those shirts now. It's pretty cool.
You go with your Brother Bear shirt.
Yeah, I do have a collection of the lost era of Disney animation shirts.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so they wanted it to be like Adventureland, not Fantasyland
Yeah.
in Disney. They use CinemaScope widescreen, which is very fascinating for an animated movie like
Yeah.
this because there's so much detail in the set and the landscape, and it is so good. Um, Most specifically, the in scene where, spoiler alert, Milo stays behind and he and Kita, 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 that sounds
Kida.
right.
Kita.
Kita. Um, it's like the camera's like zooming in on them, and then it
Mhm.
starts panning back and back and back and back. Wow, I'm glad we have a video element.
Okay.
And then it just like they disappear, but like there's like flying cars going by, and like
Hmm.
it's infinite. It's like they said all of that was not filmed, but it was animated on 24 square inches of um, paper, and from the scale to them, like if they were 6 inches, the rest of it would have been scaled up to 18,000 inches, if that makes sense.
Not
So
really.
like all of it did, they did a 6 to 18,000 ratio
Hmm.
zoom out
Uh-huh.
on one sheet
Okay.
size of 24 inches. Anyways, I think I've come to the conclusion that 2D animation is so much harder than claymation.
Interesting.
Very interesting. You know why?
Why do you say
Because
that?
because it's hard to set up the shot and you have to make
Mhm.
everything, and you know it's a sculpture you have to make and everything, but like at least it's there for the next frame, and all you have to do is take a picture of it
Hmm.
and then move it, take a picture of it, and then it's there. You put them all together,
Hmm.
you're good. You have to redraw every frame.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Did you
Yeah.
see videos of them just like flipping back to the last page that they did real quick, and then okay, like they have to redraw every frame.
It's definitely a lot of work. I feel
No,
like it's not as hard as claymation though.
it is so much it's so much harder. It's more
Why are
work,
there
more
so
tedious.
many 2D animated movies and like barely any claymation?
Because claymation freaks people out.
That's true. It's not very commercially viable.
Yeah. But think about it. You don't have to recreate it. I mean, you have to move
Hmm.
and like put new
Oh
things
yeah,
into it. But
it's
like
very tedious. Yeah.
it's tedious at the beginning, but like shooting it, no.
Mhm. That's why you'll see like there's so many videos where you can see like old classic Disney movies where they're talking about how they like reused like character
Some
shapes and
cells.
designs and
Yeah.
stuff like across several movies because they're just
Yeah.
like they have it, they're just kind of like erasing some of it, kind of redoing some of it,
Yeah.
and you know because it's a lot of
Save some
work.
time. That's what I learned what line mileage is.
Tell me about that.
Line mileage. Linémillage
Is
for
that
the
like the
French.
the mise en scène?
Like the mise en scène.
Hmm.
Yeah. Linémillage. Line mileage. It's because I learned about that because Moliere, the French guy named Mole, the character in this movie.
Yeah.
He was the hardest to draw. He had the longest line mileage because he had so many gadgets on his face, and they had to draw that every time for each frame. So line mileage is how long it takes to do each character base, not just what they're doing.
What was the name of the Peanuts character that like always had a cloud of dust around him? Was his name like Pigpen or
Linus?
something? Linus.
Pigpen. Yeah.
Okay. I bet he had the most line mileage in that show.
Yeah, probably actually. But yeah, that's cool. They took it from the classic formula of like, we're gonna have a regular cool character as the protagonist, and he won't have a silly animal sidekick. There's not going to be any musical numbers. It's going to be like the villains aren't going to have a sidekick, and they're not going to be so like in your face villainy.
Yeah.
And this is like an Indiana Jones movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sort of, if it wasn't like, honestly, this would be one of the ones if they made a live action remake. Like this would be a good actual movie, not even a Disney movie, just like a good action movie or adventure movie.
I was thinking about this too, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Okay.
Because what about
no,
this
I'm
movie?
not going to cast Tom Holland.
What? I can actually see that working actually now.
I know everyone's saying it. I don't like that. I do.
I've been thinking about the Disney remakes and stuff, and like I'm not a fan. In fact, I don't even go see them.
In fact,
but like
I don't even go see them on Disney Plus.
What what makes like a movie worth retelling? Like I feel like you have to like add something to it, or it's gotta add some kind of like cool dynamic to it. I don't know.
Right.
I feel like for this story, I feel like they don't go into as much as far as like the journey of finding Atlantis, and like I feel like I could use a little bit more of a treasure hunt. You know, maybe flesh out a little bit more of like finding the clues. You know, going from place to place to get there, kind of thing.
And then maybe the sequel being like something going on there.
Maybe.
Well, they originally had a lot going on in that, but they had to cut it because it's an animated movie.
Yeah.
They originally made it to be like 155 minutes. It was 155 pages. So they usually say like the rule of thumb is like one. Yeah. So they cut it, and they had somebody come in and be like, okay, here's the problem. We finally get to Atlantis, and it's 40 minutes into the movie, and I don't care about these new characters. Like, I don't care about Kita or any of the people in Atlantis. I only care about what's going on. I've latched onto all of these characters right now. So we need to get to Atlantis quicker. So we're going to put them up front and make them the origin, and then blah, 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 blah. And, like, he rearranged the whole plot for him. Apparently there's some, like, lava-spitting whales that they cut out. So
I think another thing I was thinking of was which like story elements they could maybe expand, but maybe it's also kind of similar to other movies, so I don't know. But anyway, I was thinking about like how his grandfather was like searching for Atlantis too, right? All that stuff. I feel like they could have expanded that role a little bit more. And like you can kind of make it like a national treasure thing where like the family has been searching for years and years, you know, through the generations, you know, something like that.
I like that part.
But even like it says his parents died. Like I feel like his parents could have been lost searching.
You don't know because this is a Disney movie, so they had to have the parents die.
Yeah. You know, add something like that. I feel like I would love to see it more like Indiana Jones adventure, you know, and really like, yeah, I guess like just the journey of finding it, going on the steps to get there, following the clues.
Turns out his grandpa's there when he's in Atlantis.
Yeah.
He didn't actually die.
But I feel like this would be a good contender for a live action remake.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
I
very
think
commercially successful, so I just
right.
feel like they're not
It
going
is
to.
now though, kind of. Not really.
Cult classic.
If they're doing Lilo and Stitch, well, okay, I'm not gonna say Lilo and Stitch was a flop. Never mind. But they're gonna get bored eventually, and they'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. This is more of an adult level movie
Mm-hmm.
than it is a kids movie. It's definitely more serious and darker.
It definitely holds up. That was kind of my concern. Was like I saw this. It had like a big impact on me as a kid. I thought it was amazing. Is it going to
Yeah,
hold up? And I would say for the most part, it does.
yeah.
So
It's the same animation team as The Hunchback of Notre Dame
mhm.
and Notre Dame,
Notre Dame.
and then Beauty and the Beast also.
Okay.
So it's a lot more of a darker
Mm-hmm.
crowd. Um, yeah, I
But
mean,
the thing is, like, I feel like Disney doesn't do these types of movies well. Like
no,
the, I don't know, almost like sci-fi kind of movies. I don't think they know what to do with those. Like if you look at like a list of Disney sci-fi movies, they're kind of like flops. Like they
yeah,
do well with like the fantasy stuff.
yeah.
And I wouldn't go as far to say that this is like sci-fi. It's kind of is kind of, like Treasure Planet though. Like both of these like
Historical science fiction.
mhm.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But I don't know.
It's one of the original, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Center of the Earth, Jules Verne,
Uh-huh.
sci-fi. That's
Have
the
you
same vibe.
seen
That
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or like read the book or anything?
no,
I haven't
I'm
either.
going to soon.
I kind of want
Actually,
to.
I do too. Yeah, Jules Verne month. Just kidding. Well, while we're talking about inspirations in like movies that they've talked about this, I had a crazy revelation that come closer.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure James Cameron stole this idea for Avatar
Mm.
because it's literally the same movie. Am I wrong? First of all, white guy saves the day, helps the natives. Boom. Natives happen to be blue people. Boom. Lost World, they take a spaceship /
Are they blue
submarine to.
people?
They got blue accents to them. War paint.
Okay.
Uncontacted native land, whatever.
Mm.
They have
They
a
know the way
villain
of
that's like
water.
ex-military, that is military, that's like, I don't care, I'm just here for the money,
Yeah.
Um, 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 um,
They've got the crystal power source.
Crystal power source.
Avatar has the
The
unobtainium.
tree. Unobtainium. Oh my gosh. Love that movie, by the way. I'm excited for Avatar 3 this year.
I mean, I go see them when they come out, and that's the only time I watch them.
Yep, me too. I mean, it's a 3-hour movie. What are you going to do? Watch
But it is an event. It is an event. You got to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like James Cameron stole this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore. And then the fact that he stays behind at the end to be, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's the straight to DVD sequel,
Yeah.
or straight to VHS sequel, called Milo's Return, which I feel like I've seen before, but I've definitely only seen it once a long time ago. So I'll probably end up watching that again.
I've never seen it. I did watch like a clip of it on YouTube before recording, and
Yeah.
I did know about this. They thought it was going to be a hit. They kind of started producing episodes of like a TV show,
Which would have been good.
So they would have had a TV show. Kind of would have involved a team like going around, I guess, solving like ancient mysteries. Kind of like an X-Files vibe is the term I was seeing.
Okay.
And also they wanted to like integrate it into the parks too, like having Atlantis like
Atlantis
which was
land.
like, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Where it's
Do
like,
it.
do it.
But they made a few episodes of the show, and then when the movie wasn't successful, they kind of scrapped the show, and they kind of repurposed those episodes into Milo's Return.
I feel like Shrek ruined 2D animation as well as they moved. This was like one of the nails in the coffin. This movie, because it didn't make any money. But
this one, and then I think Treasure Planet was after this, and I think that
Yeah.
was a big loss too. Which is a shame because like I love the animation style in these.
Yeah.
Like I love the
it's
hybrid.
my favorite animation style of all time, and I need it to come back. And if Disney, if you're listening to this, if you ever do 2D animation with the hybrid 3D animation like you did from 1999 to 2003, 2005, I mean, please hit me and Jonathan up because we will be brothers characters, and it is my dream to be a voice actor for you one day. So, I'll send you my resume. Thank you.
On with the show.
I hate 3D animation now. Disney's
you
is
hate
so
Illumination.
ugly. I hate Illumination, and ever since Disney took Pixar, like anything Disney's come up with that's Pixar themed, like just make it a Pixar movie. Go back to it's so gross. I don't like the way they look at all. Eyes are too big. It's too freaky. They're too blobular too.
Yeah.
That's a new
I know
word.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Was this
episode's
the first
over, I'm
time
mad.
that you had heard of Atlantis? Was this movie your like introduction?
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was for me too.
I was very young.
Yeah.
You know, Atlantis. What else had? Oh, dang it! I didn't prepare fully. There's one more video I wanted to watch. There was like a deep dive Johnny Harris journalism video that I wanted to watch about the lost city of Atlantis, and I didn't watch it.
Well,
Dang
save it for the sequel.
Okay. That we're totally covering.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you an update later.
If listeners of the show, you've been following us a long time, you know we don't love the straight to DVD sequels. And if you see us covering those on the main show, just know we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and the show is probably coming to an end pretty soon.
Unless it's a good one. Tarzan 2 was good, right?
I don't know. I didn't
so.
see it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I remember this movie really capturing my imagination. Like there's something about the legend of like Atlantis. Just like that's my Roman Empire. Like,
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. Time? I think about, you know what, like Roanoke, like what happened to the people at Roanoke that came to America.
Yeah.
I think about that a lot. That's one of those stories that sticks with you.
Recap it for the people that need it.
I can't even remember what it's about, really. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No, there was like, you know, people from the colonies that came over to America. They like had a city in Roanoke, and then like they made this village and everything, and then like some of the people like went back over to England or wherever to like get supplies and come. When they came back, like the city was just empty, like no one was there, and they didn't know what happened to the people. People think they integrated with like the Native Americans. They moved elsewhere, but like it's kind of a mystery. What happened?
There's some secret portal there.
I mean, it did take people a really long time to like sail across the ocean and back. So it was a long time.
Right.
But it was like a ghost town.
I bet they're underground. There's an underground society, and the entrance to the underground is underneath the Roanoke Star.
I think they found Atlantis.
Maybe.
I think they're there right now.
It's in Iceland, silly.
They got the letter mixed up. It's not an R, it's a C. It's not Ireland.
All right. Moving on.
Okay, so Milo Thatch, he's got this job at this university, I guess.
Yeah.
And his entire job is just to like fight with these like the boiler room at the university and make sure everyone stays warm. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. Back in the day.
So essentially, he's the dad from A Christmas Story that's like constantly fighting with the furnace.
But he wants to be a professor someday. But he's too hung up on Atlantis.
He's trying to get this project funded so that he can go on this expedition, prove that it's real, but they just laugh in his face. Pretty rude of them.
It's basically, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say it's basically like that one Matt Damon movie with Robin Williams.
Oh, Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, Good Will Hunting.
The one I haven't seen.
Yeah. But you've seen it in other shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. Surely. This is really good. You need to watch that next Backburners. I expect you to watch it, okay?
I mean, it's on
a fall movie, though, so.
That's probably like the OG Backburner.
Yeah, probably.
I've just never seen.
Probably. Speaking of Backburners, hey, if you want to listen to the bonus show, join our Patreon. It's only $3 a month.
That's right.
You get an extra show.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about all the movies that we've been watching lately that we like to call our Backburners because either it's a movie we've been wanting to watch or it's just what we've been watching. So it's pretty cool. We watch other movies besides kids' movies. So that's just what that is.
Sometimes.
We still watch other kids' movies that we're not going to cover here, maybe.
Yeah.
But, if you like the show and you want to support it, sign up for Patreon.
Absolutely.
All right. Shameless plug is over. What else? I really want to read some Jules Verne books.
Me too.
Because Journey to the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser and Josh Hutcherson is one of my favorite adventure movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Brendan Fraser, that movie, and him in The Mummy, some of the best adventure movies ever out there.
Yeah.
So,
don't forget George of the Jungle.
Dudley Do Right.
Encino Man. So many Brendan Fraser movies for us to cover.
He's really good. Okay.
Michael J. Fox is in this movie.
I was going to say this. We can talk about the cast. Yeah. I feel like Michael J. Fox is he's got such a calming voice as a voice actor.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if I close my eyes, I'm hearing Stuart Little for sure.
Yeah.
But like, it's still good. Like, he's a great actor. And especially since he has Parkinson's now, like, I feel like voice acting is for him. And it was kind of sad. It was weird. He was like talking in this behind the scenes. He was saying like, it's a lot more fun. I think I prefer it than acting because like, you don't have to worry about like what your face looks like. And you could just like be extra. You're supposed to be like extra animated in your voice, but your face contorts when you're doing that. So it's like, it's kind of more fun to let loose in the studio. Huh. And it's kind of sad because he doesn't really act much anymore. But yeah, he's great.
That's another.
Was he in Back to the Future?
Back to the Future. I feel like it was around this time that he got that diagnosis too. That was a big, moment. I remember like whenever he got that Parkinson's diagnosis because he was like on that TV show Spin City, and I feel like he left the show and stuff around that time, and I just knew him from like Back to the Future and stuff. But like
right, and they didn't cover that in the future.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
he was fine.
Can you believe we're like already past the time that Back to the Future 2 was?
Yes,
like,
Jonathan, that movie was made in the 80s.
That was that was like 10 years. That's like 10 years ago we passed that time.
That's 10 years. Yeah, that's true.
I feel like it was 2015.
I remember seeing like Facebook Facebook posts about like, where's the hoverboard?
Exactly.
And then they were invented, but they weren't hoverboards.
Yeah. Still not here.
Yeah. It's been a long time. It's 2025. We're in the 20s.
Yeah. Who is your favorite character that's part of the crew in this movie?
Dude, what a good question. Because I feel like part of me wants to just sit down and like recast, but I won't put you through that. Okay.
Separate video.
Honestly, maybe his Instagram story. Here's my casting.
Okay.
Although I do need to put Ray Romano as the explosions guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He can be a little older. He looks a little old. Somebody Italian, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think what's her name? The girl that is like young but the machine expert.
Audrey.
Yeah, she looks like Nora Jones in real life. I couldn't unsee it. This whole cast of characters is so good.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor,
it's an adventure movie, but it's kind of like a heist movie, you know, where like you're getting your crew together and like everyone's got their specialty, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got the doctor, we got the cook, we got the machine guy, we got the map reader.
Cook named Cookie. I just realized his name is Cookie. It's really funny. The classic grumpy, frumpy secretary old lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's always smoking a cigarette with the same face.
And what other face is she going to use? You only got one.
Fair. The guy was like, they were going through each character in the behind the scenes, and this guy was like, I sort of came up with this idea that she had the same face, like that's her personality, and it was played so much into her character, so that my job was kind of easy. I just kept her face the whole time, and I just milked that for the rest of the movie. Clearly, he had more work than that, but it was really weird and funny.
So, who's your favorite?
Who's my favorite? I can't say Mole, and honestly, I can't say Cookie because he's kind of gross. I would say
he is
explosions guy or doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked Nora Jones too.
No Milo Thatch.
Well, you can't say he's not part of the crew.
Okay,
he just saves the crew.
I like his character name. I feel
love
like it's
Milo.
a good name.
Milo Thatch. Thatch is a good name.
That's a good name.
Thatch, Thatcher, Hatcher. All good names.
Well, I think I picked Vinny as my favorite, the explosions guy.
Vinny. Yeah, he's really funny. Goes into detail.
He had a lot of great lines.
A lot of them were improv, apparently, this guy.
So, can I talk about him?
Yeah, you can. Talk about him.
Dude. This guy, you've seen him before. You've heard his voice before.
I know I've heard his voice before.
And I knew it, like after just like within a few lines, a light bulb went off in my head.
No.
And
Let
I
me guess.
And it was true.
Now that you say it.
Who is this guy?
He is... No, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's a movie we've covered on the podcast.
Okay.
It's a very small role in the movie.
Is he the crumb cake guy?
Yes.
It's a piece of cake, piece of crumb cake.
Yes, from Casper. The guy they call to like get the ghost out of the house. He comes back and his head's turned backwards.
It's like no problem whatsoever. Piece of cake, piece of crumb cake.
Piece of crumb cake.
Oh, wait.
It's like the same character.
No, Father Guido Sarducci is his name.
It's like the character he plays.
Yeah. Every one of these characters that he's known for is like some crazy like Italian name.
Yeah.
Actually, he was on SNL playing that same character from Casper. Father Guido Sarducci.
He's a comedian. It's like a character he does, I guess, but he wasn't like a cast member on SNL.
Yeah.
But I haven't done like a deep dive, but that's kind of what I saw. He's
Interesting.
kind of made appearances as that character throughout the years.
No, I guess I can't say if
Mhm.
you like him. I can't say I like him either,
Mhm.
but I do. Okay, I'll go with the Machine Girl,
Okay.
Nora Jones.
2 for
She was-
flinching.
2 for flinching. Yeah, she was good.
Mhm.
But it's an ensemble, so they're all great. You can't really have a
Yeah.
favorite. They all
They all-
work together so well. The Doctor,
I like
I
him
liked his
too.
backstory.
Mhm.
He, Rough Riders Doctor.
What about Mole? What's his story? You don't want to know. I thought I knew, and then they told me, and I wish I didn't know. And now I'm telling you, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know. Mole's so good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're all great. They're all so great. Like they're all like at least a 9 out of 10.
Good characters.
Like there's not one person that falls short.
Mhm. They're all very distinct. They all have their own skills. It's all pretty
Yeah.
good.
Which is, I think that's the reason why, another reason why the live action remake would be good of this.
Mhm.
It's because there's so many good characters and so much casting potential.
Mhm.
But I know I don't want Tom Holland, and I know I don't want Danny DeVito playing Mole. That's for sure. Yikes.
Yeah. What about Paul Giamatti? Can you see him in there somewhere?
Paul Giamatti. That's a good idea. I think Paul Giamatti could
I just flashed back
easily
to him
play.
in Spider-Man playing that Rhino character.
Oh yeah. No, Paul Giamatti could probably play the operator, the secretary lady that smokes.
Oh, what was her name?
The comms lady,
Packard.
Packard. Yeah. Phyllis, I think was her name.
Yeah.
Um,
She had a couple good lines that were like kind of subtle in the background. One we've already alluded to with the motor pool sign.
mm-hmm.
There's another one you liked though. I liked it too.
I'll have to look it up because I know I'll butcher it. But she was announcing the dinner.
It's very holes,
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they're announcing
especially with the beans.
what's gonna happen, what they're gonna have at Camp Green Lake.
Let's see. Whatever talk. Oh, her name's Wilhelmina, not Phyllis. Phyllis is just another old lady name, I guess.
This picture I'm looking at right now.
I sleep in the nude.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was a good one. You're gonna
Here's some
want a
eye
pair of
masks.
these. She sleepwalks. Yikes!
This movie was also very funny, I will say.
It
like
was
it's a
very
good
good.
action adventure movie, but it had a lot of good quotes, a lot of funny
Yeah.
moments.
Oh yeah. Okay, so she was like, "Attention! Tonight's supper will be baked beans. Musical program to follow." Who wrote this? That was very subtle, very good joke writing. No, I feel like if Paul Giamatti does a live action remake of Disney, he's on the decline of his career.
Yeah.
I feel like he's too good an actor for that.
Yeah.
Although he has been in some flops. He's no middle of the road actor. He's in bottom or top.
But if he's there, he's giving it his all, and I appreciate that.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I really want to do Big Fat Liar this year. Maybe that'd be good. Okay.
We'll see. I guess there's and I can't remember the name of the character, but like the commander guy that's like leading them, the military guy that's leading the expedition along with Milo, turns out to be a villain. Did you see that coming as a kid? It's kind of like a water.
I can't remember.
Twist.
Same came out the same year as Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
So maybe I was expecting it.
You can definitely see the seeds of it, like as an adult.
He always seemed a little,
but yeah,
not good. Anyways, but
I mean, even the whole crew turning on him at one point. That surprised me.
I mean, they're in it for the money, you know.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're just in it for the money, right?
Money, money,
Yeah,
money. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If I were to choose one person to be Milo in a new movie,
Mhm.
I wouldn't pick an actor. I would pick Walker Burrows from American Idol season 2019.
Was that the guy you saw at a Jacob Collier show?
I did talk to him at a Jacob Collier concert. He's actually one of my favorites before, and I was like, no way.
Mhm.
I see this guy. Oh, he's got good taste in music. I'm at the same concert as him.
Mhm.
And then I talked to him, and it was pretty cool. Yeah. He looks like a redhead version of Milo, like perfect.
Okay, I just Googled it. I absolutely see it.
Yeah. Isn't it? He's like a doppelganger. It's crazy.
He's got the glasses and everything.
Yes. What up,
If
Walker?
not him-
Shout out. Come on the show.
If not him, he can play the kid from Meet the Robinsons.
Yes.
One of those two characters.
He could probably fit better on this one, though.
Yeah.
Because he's not a kid.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people are saying Grant Gustin, the dude that played Flash in the DC show from like 10 years ago.
I wouldn't hate that.
I would. I mean, he's like old now. So.
Well, why'd you bring
like
it up?
He's like aged out of that. I mean, I just thought it'd be stupid, but it would fit. It would work really well.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, Walker Burrows looks just like him. I should have told him that when I talked to him.
Yeah.
I talked to him for like 6 minutes. He's a really nice guy.
Next
And
time.
I should go see his show because he lives in Nashville. What the heck? Like I said, this is an adventure movie. Emphasize on adventure.
Have you ever been on a submarine?
I have, actually.
While
with
it was
you.
moving?
No, I have
Me
not.
neither.
I'm too scared of that. I'm actually very scared of submarines now.
Yeah.
Ever since that Ocean Gate
Oh, yeah.
of 2023.
Mhm.
There's we're going on a cruise in May, and when we're in Aruba, there's a excursion we could have taken that is like in a submarine, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
It's also really expensive, but I'm not doing it either way.
I do remember we went to, it was in South Carolina at the Yorktown, USS Yorktown.
Yeah. Or is it Charleston? I don't know.
I think it was Charleston.
The 10 boat, as I called it.
Yeah. It's like an old aircraft carrier ship that we got to like tour and stuff. We went there with scouts, and like next to it, they had some kind of submarine, and we got to go inside of that as well.
Yeah, that was really
The big
cool.
takeaway I had from that was it was very compact, very tight.
Compact and tight, yeah. This one in the movie looked very large. It was more
Very
of a
spacious.
gigantic spaceship.
And you could see out of it, you know? There's no radar. It had like windows.
I love the design of it. It looks so aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Also, whenever it crashed in like the whole sequence of running away from that monster, it, when they came out of the water, one of the windows was cracked. And I was like, that's not realistic. It would have imploded. Silly. It's a submarine.
It's like the crack in Willie's tank, you know? It's just going to like just leak just very slowly.
Yeah. Willie, you mean Free Willy.
Yes.
His first name Free.
From the major ocean picture.
I think that movie's a lot more obscure than we think.
Free Willy?
Yeah.
And it was,
I
don't know. You hang out with the young kids, you know. My generation. Free Willy was big. He was a whale.
More of a dolphin tail generation.
That too. Yeah. That was more local too, you know. We got to be involved in that.
Yeah, we were. We weren't involved, but we were close to it.
Yeah, the submarine crash and everything. I thought we were gonna have this boat like for the whole movie. That's what they were gonna do to drive around, and it was like pretty quickly.
That's gone.
It's like that's gone. And I mean, a lot of people did die in that scene. So
yeah, very sad.
Yeah.
Like it gets real.
Mm-hmm.
Which
high
is not a
stakes.
normal Disney movie. You want to move on to quotes, or
Okay.
we're still talking about scenes? Okay.
I was gonna say the scene that I really remember, it's like always stuck with me. Is just actually like near the beginning. Was just like whenever Milo gets that mysterious like invitation to come to this house.
Mm-hmm.
It's like dark, stormy, rainy night. He's in this mansion talking to this
Mr.
like
Whitmore.
eccentric. Yeah, Mr. Whitmore.
Dude, Mr. Whitmore is literally King Boomy from Avatar, The Last Airbender. He's the same person.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not
cooked
wrong.
Up. He's kooky.
John Mahoney is the actor's name.
Must be his dad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always remember that scene.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's a very good one.
And just like him getting the backstory with like his grandpa and like he's getting the book and everything. Dude, yeah.
Him watching home movies. I literally told you this 2 days ago. I had just finished watching like 2 hours of our home movies growing up before watching this movie. And when he watched the home movie and he put that helmet on, there's literally there's a scene. There's literally a part in one of our home movies in like 2006 or something where I get a Darth Vader helmet and I'm wearing it, but I don't have the mask on. I just have the hat. And I looked it reminded me of Milo putting that weird helmet on.
It's shaped the exact same way.
Yeah. It was so weird. I watched both of those in the same night randomly. Yeah. I love me a good home movie. There's some I hadn't even watched ever.
Really?
Of our home
Was
movies,
that a birthday party?
It was a Christmas of 2006, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Cried my eyes out. That's for sure. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But yeah, we could talk some quotes.
Let's talk some quotes. One of them bugs bit me in my sit-upon. Someone's gonna have to suck out this poison. Don't everybody get up at once. Most of these quotes are gonna be from Cookie.
There's a few good ones. I mean, the first quote that I think of when I think of this movie is probably just because like the older brothers laughed at it. But it's like, I got your 4 basic food groups: beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard.
Yeah, classic.
Anytime anyone talks about food groups, the food pyramid, I just picture beans, bacon, whiskey,
and lard. I love at the end of the movie where he's like, when he was staying behind, he was like, here, I got a parting gift for you. It's all the bacon grease I collected for the trip.
Yeah.
He was like, ew.
He was like getting emotional about it.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, he's like serving them the food at like the campfire scene and just like, I don't think I want any more. And he's like, oh, well, that's okay. This'll keep. Yeah, it'll keep.
Oh, it'll keep. And then it explodes when they put it in the fire. Good old beans. I love the beans. Sweet mother of Jefferson Davis. Very Confederate. Classic.
He's got the tattoo. It's like, I've got all 38 states tattooed on my chest. Here, watch me make Rhode Island dance.
He's an icon. Very much.
He had some good ones. But I had a lot written down from Vinny also.
Let's do it. I didn't write any of those actually.
Let's see. Got anything sporty? Like a tuna?
Like a tuna?
I thought that was funny. It's like, oh look, I built a bridge. It only took like 10 seconds. 11 tops.
Oh, what's the other one? He's like, I only have like 5 of these, and a couple of my own. Talking about dynamite sticks. Road.
He's talking about he's like what he brought with him. He's like, oh, I got some gunpowder, dynamite, nitroglycerin.
Make him sound like Boston Rob from Survivor. Nitroglycerin.
Some paper clips, big ones. Office supplies.
You hear that, Amber? Oh man.
I like when he first meets Dr. Sweet, like in the cabin or whatever. He just he's doing like the medical exam on him. Then he like holds up. He's like, and I'm gonna need you to fill these up. Like, with what?
Huge. Yes.
The mole was funny. I don't have a ton of quotes just because a lot of it is just like fast talking.
I've got one.
Noises and yeah.
It would be my pleasure.
Yes.
I wrote that down because I was like, this is so Bryce Bridgman coded.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he may have said that on one of our episodes.
Oh, yeah. If only it was a Halloween movie, he probably would have covered it.
Yeah, probably. There's a serious quote that was pretty cool. It was like at the beginning, it was just, our lives will be remembered by the gifts we leave our children. So true, so deep.
Mm-hmm. Cookie also had one that was just like, this looks like a good place not to be. And that definitely reminded me of our whitewater rafting trip.
Yep.
That we have not talked about on this podcast.
No,
we probably won't. But
it's going to be a recurring bit.
We're not going to talk about it.
We bring it up, but we'd never talk about it. Ask me.
This looks like a good place not to be.
Yeah. Our raft guide was Cookie, basically.
Yeah. Strong agree on that.
Oh, gross. Yikes.
Mm.
Oh.
Well, I feel like the biggest thing about Atlantis itself is just that it's like hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, what else are they trying to find other than it's a mysterious lost city? Were they trying to find like explanation of they thought they were a more advanced civilization or something?
Yeah.
Like there's like this power source.
Say that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say that they're an advanced civilization in real life, like people that believe in Atlantis.
Yeah. Like us.
And like, yeah. And how like some great event happened and it was washed away or whatever. I've always thought that Atlantis was in the bottom of like the Bermuda Triangle. If I had to pick somewhere, that's where it would be. But Iceland, whatever.
Could be.
What was interesting to me is that they tied it to a lot of different biblical events. Like they referenced the Tower of Babel when it comes to their language and the Great Flood.
They mentioned that. Like the Leviathan and Job.
Yeah.
I remember picking up on that as a kid. There was a lot of like Bible references in it.
Right. Which is interesting because the Disney movie with the most Bible quotes or Bible references also has the most scantily clad Disney princess.
Yeah.
So we could talk about that if you want, but
I don't have to.
I don't either. But first of all, do you think we should show this to our kids?
Yeah, well, first let me have some kids, then I'll answer your question.
Yeah.
I might feel differently after that.
I feel different now. Abby kind of brought that up, but like,
yeah.
Some kids probably weren't allowed to watch this. And like, obviously when we were young, we watched it and we didn't even notice any of that. But it's like, why is that there in the first place? Like, why is every shot like somewhat sexual? And it's very like, who do they do this for? And then when you think about it deeper, you're like, ugh, I don't want to think about it. Like, so it's kind of icky.
It's more of like, it's a different culture and like, this is how they dress. This is how, like, this is normal to them, but it's
literally just like an Avatar.
Exactly like Avatar. You're saying James Cameron is a pervert, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like what's cool about the character is that looking past all that, she still shines as like an insanely good character. Like she's super strong. She's super strong-minded, strong-willed, very responsible. It's like she's gonna be the leader.
She's really old.
Atlantis. She's very old. Yeah. I mean, she's got white hair.
Yeah.
But like she's a decision maker and she's very brave and like she's, like all these great qualities that I want, like, my daughter to see one day and be like, wow, like, she's a strong figure to look up to. But then there's also her design, like, completely unrealistic image issues. Like, that we don't want, like, our kids to see, like, and have that, like, be their expectation of what the top, like, because it's every Disney princess is, like, designed like that, and it's not realistic to women.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are upset about it. And it's different, I guess, with other Disney princesses because they're wearing more clothes, because she's a water city person.
Yeah.
And, like, that's just where it is. It's just weirdly off.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that at all.
It's interesting conversation to have, though.
Definitely. Like, I'm genuinely more worried about, like, our daughters seeing that versus our sons, which is weird. So yeah, a little just too promiscuous for my liking. I wish they would, like, reanimate that differently. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that. I don't know if you agree.
No, I can see that.
Yeah,
I could definitely.
It's something I never really thought about either until watching it this way.
Yeah,
and then so.
Well,
yeah, it's crazy.
What's the prop of the movie?
I've got two things. Definitely the prop of the movie would be the book / also Kita's necklace with the crystal. That's pretty sick. I thought of the necklace
as well. Yeah. That would be good.
Yeah. And no vehicle, so it can't be the submarine.
I have one.
I also want to see just like a campfire.
But, probably just like the Atlantis McDonald's toys, though, right? Like, do you remember those?
Oh my!
We had the submarine.
Looking that up, Atlantis McDonald's toys. I remember the Treasure Planet McDonald's toys. Oh yeah. Because I had like a mole, right?
Yeah, but you got that removed.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, I definitely.
Yeah, we had the submarine, and I had mole, and I don't remember having any of the others, actually. But they have the crystal.
So there's like a picture of like I don't know what that is. Is that like the Leviathan?
Yeah.
It looks like the green crab looking thing, sea monster. I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
The mole. Okay, yeah, with the vehicle. I remember that. He's like drilling through the dirt and stuff.
Oh, they're like different vehicles. That's a different one than I saw.
Oh, maybe my picture is different.
No, there's like different versions of the McDonald's meals toys. Interesting. They're all like cars.
Prop though, that is totally like. It's not the one that you would think of, but anytime I think of this movie, there's a shot in the trailer. I mean, it's in the movie, but because I've seen the trailer a bunch, it's like when you get introduced to the crew and it shows a shot of like the doctor and he's holding up the saw and the huge saw and like laying it on his shoulder. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I feel like that saw that he's like, you could cut through a femur in 28 seconds.
Yes.
Like, that's like a prop I think of in this movie.
Yeah.
It's not the one you would think of like traditionally to identify it.
That is a prop though.
But for me, like, I think of that prop a lot more than I should.
You scared? You know what? I went to the Tennessee State Museum this week because it's free. It's in Nashville. Okay. And they had a Civil War doctor's like surgery kit. And there was a like amputation saw. And it was pretty, I didn't want to look at it very long. But it was pretty scary looking. Anyways.
Moving on.
That's just what I had to say to that because I saw one of those in real life. So I think about it too sometimes.
Yeah. Do we have time for a Muppet of the week?
We sure do. Jonathan,
Okay.
what's your Muppet?
What's your Muppet, dude? Well, you know, when I think of this movie, I do think of Jim Varney.
Yes.
As the chef. So I had to go classic here.
The chef. Okay.
I had to go Swedish Chef.
Order turner. Okay. The Lost City 100.
You don't know what he's saying, but he is a classic character. Most people probably know him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a culinary master of questionable abilities. Much like Cookie.
Much like myself.
He's a Swedish chef, has been a Muppet mainstay since answering an ad placed by Kermit seeking a part-time cook who could speak and cook gibberish.
Cook gibberish. That's good. That's a good one.
The chef's specialty, hard to swallow but hilarious recipes. He's been with the Muppets since the Muppet Show pilot episode. Mm-hmm. His favorite dish is the one with the happy face painted on the bottom. I don't get that. Training? Are you kidding?
There's a lot of misses with this book.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Disney,
Training? Are you kidding?
If you need help writing a new
the
Muppets
dish with
book,
the smiley face at the bottom.
Yeah. What would that
like
be?
The food made people happy.
I don't know.
When you're done eating it? I don't know.
The happy face painted on the bottom.
I have no idea what that means.
I'll have to think about that one later.
Okay. It's like a riddle almost. How bad the joke is. I remember a Swedish Chef from the weird era of the Muppets with their YouTube channel.
Okay.
And he did an episode on how to make popcorn.
Cooking with Chef.
Popcorn. Yeah, that's all I remember. Yeah. Well,
did it work? Did you follow the recipe?
No, I didn't. I just watched the YouTube video.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's what I did.
Any and I mean, I'm just rolling through the segments here.
Cinematic Eats. Time for Cinematic Eats. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously the explosive baked beans.
Yeah, the beans.
You got to try it a little bit, you know. They keep. So
they keep.
What else is there?
I mean, there's beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard.
Beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard.
Cookie does not want lettuce on that ship.
No, he does
not.
Okay, he might be. He's gross, but he might be my favorite crew member. I'm switching back. He's funny. He's too funny.
He is good. He is good. But he's
who I think about when I see this movie.
If he was in it anymore, though, I feel like it could get annoying. He's got some good lines. He pops in every now and then. He knows his role. I love a side comic character like that.
Kind of a sad comment to make.
I don't know. I appreciate it. I said the same thing about Nolan in I'll Be Home for Christmas.
No, I just mean because that's all the footage they got. Because Jim Varney died in the movie.
Well, yeah. There's that.
That's why I said that.
There's that too. Yeah.
Anyways, the music.
Okay. We can talk about the music.
Bang and score.
It's a good score.
The music is the reason you wanted to cover this, is because it came on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of movie soundtracks at work. Listeners of the show know this. And I just opened up my day list on Spotify, and it was recommending some
Shout
soundtrack.
Out to day list.
I like the day list. I check in every now and then.
I've never heard it.
So, I mean, do you not know what it is?
I just thought it was a playlist you made of like Day Glow.
No,
because you like Day Glow.
I do have a lot of that. No, it tracks like what you listen to at like certain times of day, and it kind of like, here's the vibes, you know, for like a Tuesday morning. Here's a playlist of, you know, it can be, you know, like a lot of it's like soundtrack music for me at work, but like it'll be like in the afternoon, like, oh, synthwave 80s, you know, or like, you know, pop punk 2000s. Like, it just kind of creates a little curated playlist, but it also knows like the kinds of like the times of day you listen to that music.
Yeah.
And so like it like changes from like the morning to the afternoon to the evening. I don't know. I like the day list feature on Spotify. I use it quite a bit.
I'll have to look in. I feel like it doesn't track a lot of mine because when I'm listening to music, it's like chill morning mix in the morning. And I mostly listen to it on my commute because when I'm at work, I like to listen to books or podcasts mostly. So like I drive to work when the sun's rising or before the sun rises, and I get home as it's setting. So there's no room for the day list.
Yeah,
for me.
I mean, yeah, they also do like the daily mix, you know, that are like kind of different genres you listen to. The
I
only
like
difference,
that too.
Yeah, and I use that, but those like they give you one of those and it lasts for like a week. So the day list kind of updates like every day. Maybe they're transitioning to that. I don't know, but
I'm gonna have to give
it's
that
a cool
whirl.
feature. I kind of like it. I never got into the Spotify DJ thing. That just never worked for me.
Yeah, the AI DJ.
Yeah, it was not good.
I did it for a little bit, but it got old.
Yeah,
after a while.
But anyway, it was recommending, you know, some like
now it's time to listen to
scores.
What you listened to in 2012. Let's talk about gym class heroes here for a second. What?
Yeah, I would like
no.
I wouldn't like what it was doing, so I'd like keep skipping. He's like, okay, I feel you.
Okay,
I feel you.
All right.
Let me switch it up here.
How about a little James Newton Howard? What?
Let me hit you with Old Reliable Nemo Egg by Thomas Newman. All that to say, there was some Atlantis, you know, scores put into my mix.
Let's do a mix of Mumford & Sons and Sleep Sounds.
Oh, sorry.
I love a good AI. Here. Sorry, it was a little Xavier. Xavier AI Spotify guy, DJ.
Got any more?
Let's jump back to February of 2019.
I knew you
listen to nothing but One Direction. Here's a little Niall Horan.
You know, for our listeners, they're probably like, okay, maybe I'll hit you up with a podcast. Here's some inside quotes.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, I feel you. How about a little bit? Let's chill out with a little bit of Sleep Sounds. Lizzie McAlpine.
Oh, you're going through a breakup? Here's some Mac DeMarco for you.
For all those times you were in the cookout drive-through through your seasonal depression, here's Bon Iver. Bon Iver and Frank Ocean. Hey, it kind of just sounds like Cat Williams with a deeper voice. What are we doing? That's enough riffing.
I'm just riffing. All that.
How you got 30 pairs of swim trunks, but you ain't never been in the ocean, Joe Rogan. When Theo Von did the Cat Williams, it was so funny. Oh man! All right, we've gone off the wall for a second.
All that to say, Spotify recommended the Atlantis soundtrack, and it was kind of mixed in with some of my soundtrack mix, and I heard some music from it. I was like, that's good. And I want to watch that movie now. So I thought it would be a good one. A nice, good, fun adventure movie to kick off 2025 with. And I don't regret it. It was a good movie. Do you have any other notes, Jeremy, before we start wrapping up here?
Yeah, we got some final notes. One last thing about the music is that, you know, you've just watched a stellar film. Whenever you see credits rolling and you start hearing a 90s R&B / pop singer that's irrelevant today, but was popping back then, just switching the vibe of the entire movie.
Yeah, just completely ruining the vibe of the movie. Not quite as bad as Emperor's New Groove, but
yeah,
I
Prince
wasn't
of
really
Egypt
digging
was
this
okay
song.
in that, but this one,
the score was good. Yeah. Did you like the song, the credit song? I mean,
yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not there for the credits, you know?
Mm-hmm.
3 final notes. I've got 1, such a great adventure movie. Like, if I want a sense of adventure to be scratched, I'm going to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
2, great set of characters.
Yeah.
Number 3, the crazy zoom out scene is probably one of the coolest animated feats I've seen in a long time. It's kind of up there with the crossing the Red Sea in Prince of Egypt.
That good, huh?
Well, I mean, not as good, but it's really good. It's very impressive, especially when I learned how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
It stuck with me.
I definitely noticed, like, this is a long take here. It just keeps zooming.
Yeah.
It just keeps zooming.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, what's your Letterboxd rating?
Well, I was setting out on this adventure to see if this movie held up, if it was still as good as I thought it would be. And I've already kind of said it does hold up.
It does hold up for sure.
I don't think it's a 5-star because I think the story is kind of simple.
Yeah.
But on top of that, it just has a really great, like, it just really sparked my imagination. It's got a great set of characters, good soundtrack. It's a fun adventure. I really love that time period, like early, like 1920s, kind of like Indiana Jones exploring the world. Oh, just give it to me. Fantastic. Spectacular. Give me 14 of them. Like,
they might, as long as Harrison Ford's alive.
So I gave it 4.5. Just solid 4.5. I thought it was really good. Really held up. And I mean, I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to give it a 4. I want to give it a 4.5, but I feel like a lot of the stuff, the little controversial stuff I was talking about earlier, kind of like ruined a little bit of it for me.
Yeah. It happens sometimes.
So that's the reason why I didn't think it didn't age super well.
Yeah.
But I still love it. Love it. It's a good movie. So I'm giving it a 4. Yeah.
I agree. We've talked about rewatchability as a big factor for movies, but I also feel like for me, like being able to recommend it to others is also a big factor for me.
Right.
And if I feel like if there's like stuff in there I'm not too sure about or something, that kind of brings it down for me a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
4 out of 5.
I'm good with that. 4 out of 5.
We have an accord.
Honda Accord. Okay. I'll get back with you on our live action recast. And if anybody listening to this has suggestions, let us know on Instagram at InsideQuotesCast. And yeah, so our music was done by Alex Bird. Are we closing out? Yeah, we're closing out. It's time.
You're just going old school there.
Yeah, it was.
Old habits die hard.
No.
I'm about to throw in the intro to year 1 of Inside Quotes. Hi, I'm Jonathan. And I'm Jeremy. And this is Inside Quotes.
Ooh.
With the AFV theme music in the background.
Oh, man. Look how far we've come. Video.
Look at us.
Coming up on 5 years. Almost.
Yeah. Just guys being dudes. But yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, as Jeremy mentioned. You can also join us on Patreon for $3 a month. Get some bonus episodes. We're talking about the back burners movies we've been watching on our free time. Some of the movies we've been looking forward to watching in the theaters. Stay tuned for some of that.
I mean, $3 a month. That's cheaper than a dozen eggs these days.
Yeah.
Shout out to that avian flu.
I'm not going to shout that out.
Okay, don't shout that out.
Look that up on your own time.
No.
If you're listening to this episode, you could be watching it on Spotify or on YouTube. Yep. Go over to YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, comment, let us know if you're watching the YouTube video, because
comment how many fingers am I holding up?
That's right. That's what the
Gotcha.
the creator space calls a call to action, right there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Only mine was more obvious. How many fingers am I holding out?
Mm-hmm.
Comment down below. Also, definitely comment who do you think should be live cast or live action recast, and don't you dare say Tom Holland. And if you do,
Don't you
whatever.
And if you do, blocked.
No longer listening to our show.
I think that's pretty much it, though.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for being a staple. Thanks for following us on Inside Quotes. That's all I got to say.
Hasta la vista, baby. How do you say bye in Atlantean? Atlanta?
Atlanta?
Bye, Felicia. Okay, so until next time, we'll see you next time on Inside Quotes. Gamoak! Which means goodbye in Atlantean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Gamoa.